Hi, I'm Alan R from Motor Matters, the channel you should be watching and be subscribed to if you want to know anything about cars in South Africa or even the rest of the world. So hit that subscribe button now and join over 12,000 other subscribers on the channel. William.
Morning, Alan.
How's it, man?
All right, and you?
Yeah. You got your grubby paws on my Jaguar I-Pace, didn't you?
I'm dressed for the occasion. Yes, I did. Thank you very much. 3 days of fun and games in this car, I have to say.
Well, now look, it's actually very strange because yesterday I posted the video of the launch of the Mercedes EQE, their latest electric car.
And you seem to be a fan.
You know, I'm a fan of this one. Don't question it. But what I've got to say, SA Car of the Year 3 years ago, totally deserved I-Pace. Absolutely deserved in my books. But 3-4 years in terms of development of electric cars, of cars generally, but even the electric cars so much more, is like a century.
But this is the facelift.
Yeah, I know, it's been upgraded a bit. They did give it a bit more power, a little bit more range, things like that, but still.
I haven't driven the Merc.
Yeah.
The Merc will have to be devastating to convince me that it's better than this.
Well, I'm not saying, no, hang on.
By far.
I'm not saying it's better. No,
well,
no. What I'm saying, they've improved range.
Yeah.
And they've improved, on the right charger, they've improved charging times.
Sure.
As in cutting them short. Now, a disclaimer right now. Eskom, I could kill you because you really ruined my test of this car overall for the week we had. If you buy one and you install a wall box in your garage or at your work, what a pleasure. But to get this on test, and I have experienced range anxiety in electric cars to the utmost level.
So my range anxiety factor on this car was 0. None.
Yes, because I gave it to you fully charged.
Absolutely none. I got it fully charged.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Maintaining that charge, not a train smash.
Once I'd organized how to do it.
If I had a home charger, range anxiety goes away completely.
Yes, that's what I just said.
So I think those are 2 words we can actually drop from our lexicon.
No, I won't, because I was put in that situation.
The only people who have range anxiety are those who don't have chargers at home.
Right. Okay. Let's move on for now, because we're going to do a podcast on this and we'll get back to that. All right. I-Pace.
More detail.
In this metallic black. Wow.
Nah.
Wow. I love it.
Nah.
I love it.
Pearlescent white.
Nah. I'll take this one every day of the week. Now, I've got to tell you, I've been thinking about the overall shape and design of this car quite a lot.
It is beautiful.
It's stunning. I love it. It's
coming.
E-Pace, F-Pace. But you know what I'm going to?
No,
I'm going to equate it to something, and you'll laugh at me for a second, and then you'll agree with me. The only car I can think of that has something about this is the Nissan Juke. The F-Pace with an elephant that put its foot on it and squashed it out a little bit.
That's rude. No,
it's not rude. It's not.
That is absolutely rude.
It's not. It's squatted down. It looks the part. I'm not questioning, but it's been squished down slightly.
Well, look, I mean, I'll concede the fact that a Nissan Juke that's been stepped on by an elephant will be elevated in its looks immediately. But to equate this to a squished Nissan Juke, no, that's a stretch.
Well, bring it around the side, you'll see what I mean. Bring it around the side.
Maybe on the side profile only. But I mean, look at the aggression on the front.
No, that's what I said to you. I like it. I like it.
It's correct.
But I mean, you've got these lacquer black mag wheels, 20 inches, fat tires on them.
Do you know what? I don't like them.
No, it matches the car. It's perfect.
I'm finding things just not to like on the car because I have to find something.
You just want to disagree with me. That's
no. I genuinely don't. But it's
now very interesting.
The
suddenly becomes so popular, these pop-out door handles.
Well, I think it saves about 0.02 milliliters of fuel every million kilometers, but you know.
Something like that. They work, they do the job, they're nice. Let's just, while I'm here, let's take a look.
They're a fashion statement.
Of course, you've got the very swooping rear end.
Squashness and jukedness, yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about now. Now you're agreeing with me. Ha ha!
Maybe,
You see.
maybe this is going to become a term.
Okay.
SNJ, squashedness and jukiness.
The driver's seat set for you, so slightly even further back than I would set it. Legroom's not bad. I'd call this a 4-seater. It's not going to be that comfortable for 3 in the back.
Call on the color, on the interior color. Come on.
The red.
Yeah.
You know, it looks fancy. It looks good, but I would not want to live with it. I'm sorry. I'm calling it for myself. Not for me.
White with a grey interior.
Yeah, maybe a lot better. Interesting fact I'm noticing while I'm sitting in the back here. You've got butt warmers for the rear seat.
Yes, you do.
Okay, but the aircon is there, not here. No
Correct.
aircon vents there.
Correct.
Which is kind of interesting, although you've got 2 USBs and a 12 volt and all that kind of thing.
It blows like crazy from the center.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it does. I've got
you
no
do
problem with, especially if you had max aircon.
You get
it's
plenty,
really effective.
You get plenty cooling.
Yeah.
And note the sunroof, of course. You've got
Well,
no
no.
shade.
This is fascinating. This panoramic roof, glass roof, whatever you want to call it.
It's basically a glass roof.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Yet there's no shade. Yet I don't think it was any worse than one even with a shade, because obviously it's got the tinting and things like that.
Exactly. Didn't notice it at all.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to come round to another little.
Powered tailgate.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Revealing
would you expect any less?
the bitter disappointment.
Yeah, this is. Hello, how are we going on holiday?
Well, you're going to take your spare wheel with you, or your suitcase. But
Yeah,
not both.
so you can choose.
But
Do
not
you want
both.
spare wheel? Well, I suppose if you're traveling 2 up, you could just eliminate the rear seats. Yeah.
Just unpack your suitcase, throw it away at home, and just put all your clothes and stuff around the.
Yeah, I mean,
around the
I
steering
get
wheel.
the point that South Africa, ha, you travel without a spare wheel. Do me a favor.
I think that's the point. It's
Do
kind of like
me
around,
a favor.
around our city streets, you're going to pop a tire
Yeah,
sooner or
yeah.
later on a goddamn pothole. So that's
Yeah.
why this is here.
So
But
it's
when
there.
you're not going away,
Yeah.
when you're going away, the roads are better, so you actually
No,
don't need
I
the
still
spare
wouldn't
tire.
risk it personally.
You've
But
got
that's-
Jag assist should anything go
Thanks, yeah.
particularly wrong. Yeah.
I mean, EV, you know, I don't get the 400, but we'll come to
400
that.
horsepower,
Okay, thank you.
290
All-wheel drive, right,
296
6
kilowatts.
kilowatts.
696
No,
Newton
696 Newton meters.
696, just
Right.
shy of 700.
Okay, I mean, a very interesting spoiler here.
Yes.
And then, of course, up top, I mean, you'd
Yes.
expect that. You got all those kind of things.
Yes.
Okay, we've
And-
spoken about that. Let's get inside, let's take a look. I'm at the Jaguar Land Rover Waterford dealership right now. Brendan Melville, service manager. Brendan, I've got to thank you. Really and truly, this is amazing, because an EV electric car, the Jaguar I-Pace, magnificent. Don't misunderstand. But stage 6 load shedding, an electric car. Where do they meet? Or do they ever meet?
It's a tough one at this point. Yeah, it would meet very well if everyone had a DC charger at this point.
Yeah,
But,
especially an 80 odd kilowatt one like you've got here.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
So you guys have been kind enough to do the charging for me over this test period, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we plugged in here. And, let's have a look. And what you showed me was, of course,
Hang on, Alan. I'm actually more grateful this car's being charged because I'm taking it now.
you still got to qualify for that.
I'm here.
I
I'm
drive
qualified.
it gently, you see. Do you know what his real name is?
No.
Leadfoot.
Oh.
And there's
it's
a
not
reason
true.
for Leadfoot. So
It's
Heavy
not
boots.
true. It's not
Yeah,
true.
No.
Yeah.
I give him a car that I've driven for 4 days, average fuel consumption 6 liters per 100. Comes back from him after 2 days, including my mileage, at 9. That's what happens generally, okay? And the more performance the car has, the worse it gets.
I'm saying nothing. Just go have a look at the consumption on the Mahindra.
Okay, now, this is amazing, eh? And there you go. What you showed me and what is interesting is if you plug it in at home or on just a normal home plug, or if you go to a lot of the shopping centers that have the 22 kilowatt chargers, you only use that piece.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah. That piece there, which is that one there, is what gives the real kick. So in other
Absolutely,
words, you've
yeah.
taken it from 60% to 90% in what, about an hour and a bit now?
Yeah, just slightly over an hour.
Yeah. 22 kilowatt charger that I used the other day took it from 20% to 65% in 5 hours.
And we must point out that the top-up charge is always slower from 80% to 100.
That's
It's always
right.
much
So
slower as well.
It would be even worse.
Yeah.
So just allowing for, what I'm mentioning, and this may sound like I'm being a bit negative, is the practicalities of this vehicle.
Yes. No.
That's what I'm saying.
With stage
so
6.
This thing is mean. Can I just put it away for you?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Oh, can't wait.
Okay. I think with the AC charging,
Yeah.
obviously if it's something you're busy driving around town with, the 5 or 6 hours we do have with our stage 6 load shedding is kind of okay, as long as you sort of, you get home, plug it in, and you can set it.
Look,
When
the
it
way I
suits
see
you.
it is, if you're going to buy one of those, and at the cost, right? I'm sure if you twisted your dealer's arm hard enough, the 25, 30 grand for the wall box at home could probably be built into your deal. At just over 2 million rand, I'm sure one could make a plan, right?
I'm sure there are
Yeah,
options.
there
there
are
are
options.
options that can be looked at. Yeah.
But now
in the future,
the shopping centre charges to me are top up. You're not supposed to go there to charge your car from low to full.
No.
That's where you're going to the shops, you're going out for dinner, whatever the heck you're doing, and you'll be there for 2 hours. You go from 40 to 60% or whatever it is, or from 60 to 80, that kind of thing. That's what those are there for. You are supposed to have the facility at home to keep this car properly charged.
Yeah.
Which I don't have, so therefore I have to rely on nice people like this. Let's have a look inside, show us a couple of nice features there. EV driving.
Quiet,
It's just,
isn't it?
I mean, it's a function of how loud is the tire roar.
Exactly.
That's all it is on these cars.
Exactly.
Regenerative braking, just showing you, I've come to a stop at a stop street without touching the brake pedal. I just had to show you that. And for somebody who told me I don't indicate when I turn corners when I'm doing these, there you go, I put the indicator on, okay?
After you turn the corner.
No, I
At
didn't.
least people know what you've done in the past. So the quietness of the car.
Yeah.
You hear the slight whine from the electric motor, right?
Yeah, you
But
do.
It's really insignificant, and as you say, it comes down to road noise.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously in a car at this level of this quality, you're not expecting too much road noise other than the tires. But of course, it's just 1 second of hooliganism, okay? Because you can't be the only one to ever do this. One. Now, I'm just going to do it with 1 foot, but I'm not going to do a full-on launch control with foot on brake, left foot
I
on
don't
brake.
think it makes any difference.
Yeah, well, let's go here. And we're already doing 80 Ks, okay? How was that? Does that explain to you exactly what the phenomenal factor of an EV is?
So that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Sitting in the passenger seat, because I haven't done that sitting in the passenger seat. I've only ever done that as the driver, and it's very different as the driver.
Yeah.
It's very different as the passenger. It
No,
is,
sure. Yeah. It
Wow.
must feel even double as fast.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
It's kind of scary.
and the thing about it, the beauty about electric, and I know we talk about the immediacy of electric, blah blah blah, that hoary old chestnut, but you can do that at any speed, and you have the same punch.
Yeah, well, let's just go around this bend here
80
and...
k's an hour.
Okay, now we're down to 40 k's an hour. I put my foot and
And
oh my!
it actually jolts.
Yeah, it literally
actually
jolts. I mean, look, you shouldn't drive like this, and hopefully most sensible people, other than Leadfoot, wouldn't drive like that normally.
No,
But we're trying to show you what it's capable of.
There's no need to.
Yeah.
So, what went through the back of my mind, now having started prepping the Mini for this year's racing, is this thing's got 300 odd k's of usable range, maybe 320, depending how you drive,
Yeah.
etc., etc. That's enough for 8 laps around Swartkops. And come on, Jag, put together an EV series, and we have an 8 lap race around Swartkops in these things.
You're behind the times.
I tell you what.
There's the E Grand Prix series.
Yeah, I know, but
Coming to Cape Town 25th of February.
Well, there we go. But
I may just be there, by the way.
we want these cars year round, because to drive
And Jag
these,
are one of the leaders in the E Grand Prix.
to
You know
drive
that.
these cars is very, very different to the way you're going to drive the normal petrol.
But you know that
petrol
Jag
powered
are
car.
one of the leading teams in the E Grand Prix.
for sure.
So,
Why-
and have been from the start.
Why do you think I'm planting the seed? So the whole point
The
about
SE.
these cars, heavy in handling, right? But planted.
Well,
So
remembering the fact
you're
that in this car the batteries are underneath us.
yes. So you got a very low center of gravity.
Correct, and it placed exactly where you want it for
50-50
optimum,
weight
etc.,
distribution, blah,
etc.
blah,
So
blah, blah.
handling-wise, although they're big, heavy hulks, they do have a lot of advantages.
Correct. So you're manhandling these things through corners. They're not
Yeah.
skating. They're not
No.
skating around them and gripping with very lightweight and large.
And
large
remembering
rubber.
this one is an all-wheel drive as well, just in
Exactly.
case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is if you punch this in a corner where you would normally start punching your petrol car,
Yeah.
you're going to wind up in a barrier because it's just too much power too soon. So
Yeah.
your driving style changes completely.
100%
And that
agree.
makes for, I think, what's going to be very exciting spectator
Yeah.
driven motorsport.
Very probably, yeah.
We haven't seen it with Formula 1E or F, whatever they call it yet. But I think it's starting. It's going to come as
Well,
more
I
and more people
watched-
become
I watched
electrified.
the first round of
Yes.
this year's championship
Yes.
last week.
Yes.
Mexico, I think it was. Very, very. Look, you've got to get used to the fact that there's no sound.
Correct.
Besides them, wee, and
Correct.
on occasion when they really put foot coming out of a corner.
Correct.
So just accept that. But once you've gone past that,
It becomes very interesting then to see that
the
your
overtaking
talent,
and stuff is amazing.
the talents
Ooh.
of the drivers, because
Yeah.
now you're not being cued by the sound as to what's actually going to happen.
Correct.
And that's what I find so interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. There we go. EV. Done and dusted. And fan speed navigation sorted.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
You see these buttons pull out and they push
Uh-huh,
in.
okay,
depending on
right,
what you
yeah,
want. So if
yeah.
you push them in, you can control the temperature of your seats.
Yeah, right,
Cooled and heated.
Yes.
And if you pull it out, that's where you determine the fan speed. Or if you want
Okay,
auto,
right,
you
yeah.
push it on the...
Right. So you got all of that. Look, you would expect all of this,
Of course,
in this
of
car.
course.
Let's be as simple as that, all right? Really. You've got the push buttons for gear selection. I mean,
Yes.
again, nothing new, nothing unusual. Over here, you've got your drive modes.
Sure. Yep.
We did show them in the previous video. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, okay? So you know what the drive modes are about. And then this one I thought was very interesting was the raised or lowered height.
It makes this thing an SUV.
Yeah, well, a bit of an SUV.
This is an
Yeah, a bit of an SUV. I certainly wouldn't want to challenge it too much on that.
Okay.
But that's beside the point. Then you've got all your controls on the steering wheel. I mean, these are all exactly what you expect.
And a menu that is usable and navigable
And massive and,
massive and detailed.
I mean,
and
look at the
bright
detail and whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's all there and you can do it. Did you test the auto parking?
I did not test the auto parking. I
Okay,
didn't have an
well,
opportunity
no,
to
okay.
test the auto parking. But what I will say is that it did a software update by itself.
Okay.
So
Well,
it reset all the settings, including the regenerative braking. It took me a little while to figure out where to do the regenerative
Okay,
braking.
all
but
right.
I set all that back
Yeah.
up. And yeah, it's...
look, what I found interesting, this certainly does feel like a Jag to drive. Okay?
Definitely.
There's no doubt.
Definitely.
It is a Jag. Okay?
Definitely.
Driving behavior. So it's no different to one of their petrol engine models or anything else in that respect.
Yes, it has Jag sportiness, Jag
Handling, all-wheel drive, Jag look, Jag quality on the interior. All those things are there, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you blasted the Meridian sound system like you can't believe. I know you. So do you want to comment on that?
It's fabulous. Meridian's a high-end brand.
Yeah.
There are a lot of speakers around this
Yeah.
car. It's inherently musical.
Right.
It's enjoyable. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not an in-your-face sound system. It's
Well,
more.
is that
it's more,
not-
No, it's more gentlemanly. It's more.
I was
sort
going
of-
to say, gentlemanly,
Jag.
classy.
Yes.
Classy. I'd like to use the word. Okay.
yeah.
So it's got that, right? It's got this massive glass roof. I'm not going to call it panoramic. It's a glass roof, okay?
It is a glass roof.
Yeah, and it does the job. It works. It's everything you want. I mean, there's no doubt,
Really
okay?
get the full
Yeah,
scope of it.
yeah. But it's incredible, okay? These seats, by the way, I must say, I found incredibly comfortable.
and completely adjustable. They can
Yeah.
squeeze you from the sides, so the bolsters come in
Yes,
and out.
yeah,
and,
yeah. I tried all those
Up,
tricks.
down,
And,
all the way.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
They're fabulous.
no, they're great seats, comfortable. But again, I'll say I wouldn't order one with red. But that's
And,
beside the point,
You know,
okay?
the seats sort of belie the SUV feel for this car because
Yeah.
it's not really an SUV feel. It's more a sports car
not
feel.
not
actually.
with seats like that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But look, it's got all of those things, and it's got every bit of it. All right.
And the sense of quality. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's all the surfaces.
You kind of, the only thing
on the
I'm
car.
missing, because it's a Jag, is why wasn't this little panel maybe wood? Even if it was faux wood or something, you know. Don't you think that would just tradition?
on an electric car.
Yeah, but Jag tradition. Just no, just nowhere else. I would just have some
A nod.
walnut paneling, you know,
nod,
a
a little-
nod
yeah,
to
yeah,
Jag,
yeah.
you know. But
I agree. I think that
wonder-
might be a nice little touch. So
I
there you
wonder
go,
if it's
Jag.
available somewhere in the extras list.
I'm sure. I'm sure someone in the aftermarket would have made something
Yeah.
that you can paint on or.
I mean,
change.
just I think you're getting my point,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah,
Yeah. But anyhow, I mean, that's just. But look, the summary of this car is the bottom line. It is a Jag. It may be electric, but it's a Jag, and they've kept that and managed to maintain that.
I love this car. I want one more than I want.
Do you want to finish that sentence?
Well, yeah, more than a 911.
Mm-hmm.
No, what a 911. No, what a. I'm conflicted, Alan. I'm conflicted.
Well, I'd like to actually drive a Taycan maybe to compare.
I don't think I want to do that because then I'm going to be unconflicted in it.
Well, I must tell you, no, but wait.
It'll be bad for my sleepless
I
nights.
drove yesterday the Merc EQS 53 AMG. It's got it's got over 500 kilowatts. I can't remember the exact. And hang on, 1,000 Newton meters of torque.
How much is it?
About 3.5 million rand.
Oh God.
No. Wait till you see the video where I do a launch control in this thing. Okay? It's much bigger than this.
I want to see Alan hanging on for dear life whilst
You'll see
it's
it.
Going to be like
But now-
that cartoon
now look,
character where
it's
the legs
difficult.
are hanging out in the wind.
It's difficult to compare because you're talking just over 2 million to 3.5 million.
Yeah, almost double the price.
And you're talking a limo sedan as opposed to a kind of sports SUV, kind of whatever you want to call this one.
Yes.
Okay? So there are differences there. But I've just got to mention that. I mean, that is like
Well,
absurd.
it's a matter of time before this comes out with 1,000 Newton meters
Oh, look,
and
it's going to.
600 kilowatts.
They're going to have to.
And
If they want to carry on competing, they're going to need to do that.
the acceleration on these things is already so immense. One of my friends was commenting after I'd taken him for a quick burst around the block in the thing was, are they going to start limiting acceleration on cars as opposed to speed limits? I was kind of like, I don't think you have to because they become self-limiting. You know.
Well, I don't know. You know, he's obviously thinking of people like you.
Well, and I don't know, people who are not used to electric cars maybe, but you
Yeah.
do get used to them pretty
No, look,
quickly.
I got used to this very fast, I'll be honest. And
Yes, you're thinking far ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
And with all the safety equipment that comes with the car, you know, if anything gets vaguely out of control, the nanny kicks in almost instantly.
well, to a point,
It's
yeah.
got it's got
Okay.
a lot of
Okay, let's
lot of
just
features.
summarize now. The bottom line,
yes,
absolutely superb.
yes,
It is true to Jag,
yes,
traditional, old school, blah, blah, blah type.
without the
with,
wood.
Without
Yeah.
the wood and without the red.
Yeah,
But besides those, okay, it's
Yeah.
got all of that.
Yeah.
It's the latest. It's the
yes,
all these things. It's got it. The issues I had with charging the car were because I don't have a charger at home.
yes.
So I get that, but it just did make life kind of stressful for a while.
No, look, charging
Yeah,
aside,
yeah.
I
But now, what's
find
happened
it
in the
hard to
market?
fault the car.
What's happened in the market was Jag basically were ahead of the game with this one, right? 3-4 years ago.
Yes,
Now suddenly you've got the BMs, the Audis, and the Mercs
all catching up.
all into the same market segment.
And I see that the Yanks are coming on board strongly now as well.
Well,
Jeepo
yeah.
are on the
I don't know
way.
whether it'll be here or not. We will have to
We'll
see
wait
if they
and
bring
see.
it here
Yeah,
or not. Yeah.
yeah.
But the bottom line being,
All the manufacturers.
all
are
the
going this
manufacturers
route.
are getting in on this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
etc., etc. So it's fascinating. And you know what? I thought this car was ridiculously expensive. It's become price competitive.
Correct.
So, fact, you got this kind of money, you want this kind of car. I can't say to you, you buy one of these as your only car. But I
Well-
would certainly want this as a second car.
And again, point is made. If you're going to buy this car and if you're going to pay it off, if you've got 2.2 million rand, Chelsea, you're going to buy it cash. But if you're going to pay this car off, it means you're going to own the car for roughly 6 years or so.
Yeah. I must tell you something.
What's your resale value after 6 years on an EV versus the petrol equivalent?
Well, I don't know yet, but just before you say that, I'm quoting, Mercedes yesterday at the launch. The vast majority of the electric cars are not cash deals, they are financed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, there we go.
So there you go. Okay.
So this point stands.
Yeah.
Now, you got to look into your crystal ball
Mm.
and say 6 years from now, are you going to get more for your petrol or more for your EV?
Well, I don't know, but I cannot tell you, because remember that the majority of EVs, hang on, they're talking 8-year life on the battery.
Aha.
And they're talking anywhere R250,000 upwards to replace the battery pack.
So, depending on who you talk to. So, you've got to take a stand here, Mr. Rosenmeyer. I'm putting you on the spot. So, depending on who you talk to, for instance, a battery pack for an i3, much smaller battery pack. Sure. If you get 8 years out of the batteries, it's conservative. That's the manufacturer's guarantee, right?
Yeah, so you'll get 10 years.
You'll probably get 10, maybe 12 years. 70, 80 grand for the battery pack?
No. The i3's battery pack was over 200.
No. It's dropped.
Has it dropped?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
recent then.
that's my understanding. Even if it's 200 grand, right? You put a new battery pack in the car, you've basically got a new car.
But I'll tell you something. I looked last week.
So
I looked online last week.
What is the resale value likely to be? It's likely to be a lot higher,
Well,
I think.
listen
I'm
to me.
calling it
Listen
than
to
your
me, yeah.
petrol equivalent.
I looked a week ago,
Yes.
out of interest, because I was talking to a friend about EVs.
Yes.
4 i3s.
Yes.
Okay, and I
Can't
thought
find them.
you're going to find an earlier i3 for 200k.
No.
The oldest one I could find was a 2018 model, so 4.5 years, 600,000 rand.
Correct.
And I thought, what?
Spot on.
Because the last price I saw for an i3 was under 800 new.
Yeah.
So at 4 to 5 years old, they still want 600k?
Exactly.
Woohoo!
Exactly.
Yeah?
So-
Okay, low mileages, etc., etc. Let's not go there.
But mileage on these cars is irrelevant.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely
Doesn't matter.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
And then you factor in the fact that your maintenance on the car is limited to changing the brake pads once every 2 years because the regenerative braking does all the braking for you. Tires, certainly on this car, you're going to go through tires.
Well, especially you would, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I accept that. You know, the running costs of the cars, 1/8 to 1/10 of your fuel bill.
Well, no, wait.
power?
Now, sorry, I keep quoting yesterday's press conference.
That's the
No,
most relevant
there's-
recent research. Yeah.
Very, very interesting facts that were quoted by Mercedes, but they'll apply here
Yes.
because it's to upmarket executive EV. And I'm talking because let's not talk bottom end ones
No, we're
because there's
talking
different.
2
I'm
million
talking
rand plus.
2
yeah.
million rand plus,
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
Now, first of all, as I said, practically everyone is a finance deal.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, somebody raised the point that there've been articles recently
Yes.
that with the fuel crisis in Europe in particular,
Yes.
that electricity costs will go up and up,
Yes.
and that within 2 years it'll actually be cheaper to drive a petrol or diesel vehicle on a long journey than the electricity for this one.
Really? Is this in Europe?
This is in Europe.
Okay.
The answer to that,
What happens in Europe comes to us 5 years
well,
later.
maybe.
Well,
But you know what the
we'll see.
answer to that was?
What?
The buyer who buys one of these cars,
Yes.
I'm being
Yes.
generalizing,
Yes.
is the kind of guy that's also got 250,000 rand to take his home off the grid.
Correct.
So he is charging at home of solar power or and not paying for his electricity to Eskom.
It's already happening. A friend of mine who has an electric
Yeah.
Mini charges his Mini off his panels.
So, and their research was that is going to be the majority.
Yes.
So
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
the average buyer, I mean, there's nothing average about spending 2 million bucks on a car,
Well-
but the average buyer is the guy who, as I say, if you're spending 2 million, another 10% is never the issue to go off the grid and to
And to
resolve
charge
that
the
whole
car.
issue.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
boom, done.
Finished.
Right. On that point, for Motor Matters, I'm Alan R. He's William Leadfoot Kelly.
Behind the scenes.
And we'll see you next time. And listen to that engine firing up, eh? Well, listen to it. V8, V8, here we go.
Can you hear that V8?
Alan,
Yeah.
it's been done.
What's been done?
That tired old joke.
Okay.
Digital everything.
Digital everything. I mean, it's...
So Brendan, I want to know, how fast is this car?
How fast is it?
How fast is this
If
car?
I remember correctly, it taps out at about 190 k's an hour, 180 k's an hour.
For an electric, that's quite good.
Yeah. Look, I took it out on a cruise yesterday. I was doing 120 just over on the highway. I try and stick to the speed limits. I did go slightly over once or twice when overtaking, but it's just so magnificent on a highway at cruising speeds. Around town, I was playing on my way here, away from robots, just like nobody comes close to you. That's
I know
for
the
sure.
0 to 100 is incredibly quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you like that kind of thing, you're going to sacrifice a lot of
Range.
a lot of range on that.
Correct,
But I mean, you do that with any standard vehicle anyway. So
And tires.
and tires, yes, absolutely.
And brakes.
Another neat, William, just bring the camera here. Another neat little feature I found, because in various circumstances, I was on a little bit of a dirt road yesterday, is to raise your ride height.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. And you've actually got 3 settings. Do you know
That's
that?
very
You off-road, they call it.
So is this
You've got
air suspension then?
It must be,
Yeah, it's got air suspension.
Okay.
So there's the off-road, as they call it. There's the normal, and then if you press it again, it drops it to what they call entry mode. So in other words, it's super low to get in and out.
So not super low to grip and drive super fast.
Probably not, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually more for access.
Yeah, your access, entry egress mode, just for old people who don't want to climb up.
The discos do exactly the same thing.
Now,
So you can just do that.
yeah, you just press there and have a look there. It says now normal height selected.
Wonderful.
And press again, off-road height.
Nice.
You don't even feel it.
I didn't know this was a 4x4.
No, William,
No, I don't like driving 4x4s.
no. You will not.
No.
I've got
Absolutely not.
I've got it. Now, here's
See what I
another
have to
set
work
of
with.
buttons that I never touched. But mode.
I will.
Did we have to even discuss that? Eco. Rain, you can use that one. Rain, ice or snow. How's that?
Oh God, I'd give my back teeth for some rain right now.
Okay, if you want to go the other way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Eco. Comfort. Dynamic. What was
See
that?
how this changes when you go to dynamic?
Yeah, it goes
Yeah,
all
This
red.
changes.
Everything goes red
Just
and
like
goes-
the other JLR products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I call angry mode.
Let you know where you are.
Okay, let's leave it in. You're not allowed to touch that now. It's in comfort.
Okay.
That's it. Okay.
No, put it on eco, please.
You want it on eco?
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Okay. I believe that when I see it. Does that stay in that when you switch off, or do you have to reset it every time?
It should stay in that mode.
Okay. Yeah, that's something a lot of cars, and it's something that bugs me, is the one that doesn't stay. Where every time you get in the car, you got to choose your mode.
Oh yes, okay. Yeah.
So, okay, Brendan, what else can you show me that really you feel stands out? But I mean, it's just got so much, I know. And the comfort, by the way. How are these seats, William?
I'm admiring them. I'm busy building my Mini at the moment, which is half my time challenges, and we have seats exactly like this.
Okay.
Well, not exactly like this. They're not leather.
And I bet you that you don't have the legroom in the back.
They're as uncomfortable as hell. But I'm looking forward to sitting in these and seeing how they compare.
Okay. Sorry, Brendan, I interrupted you
No,
there.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So another cool feature, like with some of the other products we have, is called the auto park feature.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you're driving along, and it'll detect so you drive along and you click the indicator on, okay, it means you're going to look for a space on this side, right, and it detects an open space, and then just follow the instructions. I have to be in drive first,
And you need to find a space.
and I need to find a car park, and then it'll actually guide you into space. All you do is you are going to operate the accelerator pedal and the brake pedal, and it'll steer it for you into the parking space.
Do you know where I'm going to try that?
Where?
In Parkhurst.
Good a place as any
Yeah,
to try.
yeah.
tell
And
you
we will
what.
do a bit of it for the in the video as well,
I tell
later
you
on
what.
in the video. Okay.
Parking there is a
it's
nightmare.
it's pretty amazing
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. So we've got
Right,
that.
okay.
Let's just go back to the home page. Click on EV. You can do some settings there.
Right.
I would leave it on immediate charging. That means anytime you plug the charger in, it will charge. Smart charging is where you can assign various times.
Okay, so that
To
would be
allow
when
to
you're
charge.
plugged in at home and you're taking advantage of off-peak rates.
Yeah, correct.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's again a nice one, but immediate's
Yeah.
the best
I
one for
would
that.
keep it there because
Yeah.
you're going to forget.
We're going to
I
need
think
it.
we may have forgotten last time when we
We
first brought this car
did,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah, you've got to just be aware of these little, but that's the point and the nuances of it.
There you go. I mean, if you're driving the car every day, you'll know. You should know how it all.
You'll get
how it all works.
you'll
So,
get used to
yeah.
it pretty quickly.
Yeah. Right. Is it energy? Gives us the range.
Okay. I'm assuming that would be a live thing when you're driving.
Yes,
for example.
yeah.
It will show you
Yeah.
the energy flow or whatever.
Just showing our charging limit. We're on 100% now, so
Okay.
we're
I've got
good to go.
391 Ks.
Yeah.
I will, get,
okay.
I will get 491.
Leadfoot.
I didn't say with how many charges in between.
Yes, yes, well, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and
That's brilliant.
just, I must tell you, what has amazed me on this car is how smooth and comfortable it is. And yet it's got everything you want.
Yeah.
It really has.
This is an absolutely amazing machine.
And the space. I mean, look at the space
No,
in the back.
I was going to say it's massive. Yeah. No, there's a lot of room in the back here.
Yeah,
There's a lot of room.
2 passengers in the back. Well, little one in a seat. And it's really amazing. Yeah,
No, it's wonderful.
tremendous.
Okay, right.
Brendan, thank you so much.
That's an absolute pleasure.
That's all right.
Jaguar Waterford, you saved this test. I can tell you that much.
And you made me really happy because now I've got a full charge. Thank you.
That's been an absolute pleasure.
Great.
Thank you very much, Ben.
And yeah, we'll reverse this out.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to reverse?
let's
Hang on, let me